When you have PayPal, you have to link it to a debit or a credit card. I have linked it to a debit card and a credit card. When you have linked your accounts, you have more of an established account, so that they are not likely to remove your account or take your money. If you have a PayPal and you have not linked it to a PayPal or to a bank account, you will be challenged because you will not be able to use it and you will not be able to move it until you have an account that is linked to PayPal. Now, South Africa has got a mainly FNB who has an agreement with PayPal. Each country, I've realized, has different agreements with PayPal, because when I came to Italy, I had to open an Italian PayPal with my Italian bank account because I could not link my Italian bank account to my South African PayPal. So it's been like quite a challenge to find my own flow with PayPal. But now I have my Italian bank account with my Italian PayPal, and I have my South African bank account with my South African PayPal. So again, I would suggest for those of you who can open a foreign bank account, that is a plus. If you can open a bank account, Clara, in Spain, or Alessandra in Switzerland, do it. Open a PayPal in that account, link that bank account, so you can at least try to move your South African PayPal to your foreign PayPal, which I've been quite successful with. But number one, first price is get an FNB account. It is just going to make your life much smoother and easier. Then the FNB platform is the only platform in South Africa to move money from PayPal to any other bank account. So you can use the FNB platform to move your money to Capitec. But again, you're going to have to, I think, I am FNB, so I didn't have to subscribe again, but I think you have to somehow subscribe or get your password so that you can be able to do this. Then to cut out fees for South African women, we have come up with a solution where you pay from your bank account to another women's bank account in South Africa, from FNB to FNB or ABSA to FNB, and you cut out a lot of, I think you cut out like 500 Rand of bank fees, which is really nice. So if you are weaving with South African women, you can give them that option. And we basically said you take $234 the moment you become a water woman. This is very important because sometimes I think people forget about this. You take $234, you convert it to Rand, and then you set the amount that you get to add to 9. So like 4221 was an amount. But again, don't stick to 4221 because the currency changes. So the South African amount will change because of our currency changing. So you always have to go $234 the moment you are water, change it into Rand, and make sure the amount, the numbers go to the vibration of 9, because 9 is for me the abundance number. And like that, we can cut out PayPal, but you still have to have your PayPal account. You really just cannot ditch your PayPal. You can have various options. There are restrictions on South Africa, as I have mentioned about when I'm in Italy, my Italian PayPal is much easier than my South African PayPal. So yes, there are restrictions in South Africa. Also with your internet, there are restrictions because I have noticed now that I am in Italy, I get a much wider audience on Facebook. When I was in South Africa, I don't think I reached anyone out of South Africa, but now I can reach much further. So I do know that there are restrictions, cyber security, and also the banks. So it is just something you have to maybe research yourself. Just Google restrictions on South African bank accounts, restriction on South African internet. Yeah, as I've mentioned again, get familiar, very well familiar with PayPal. If you have a query, write to them so that they get to know you very, very well. You know, don't leave it to the last minute, because I have been receiving emails saying like, I have to move my my PayPal out of my PayPal. When you click on that email, my Bitdefender does not open that link, and it's a false link. It is, then I go to PayPal and, you know, there's nothing like that. I don't have to move it, nothing. So when you get these emails about, you know, you need to move your money in 30 days, do not click on the link in that email, because there's a lot of fraud that is happening and they target South African people. Rather go to your PayPal, say to them that you have received this email, and there is a procedure that you have to send them this email that you have received. It's called a spoof email. They talk about this on PayPal. So they actually say they will never send you such an email. If you receive such an email, it's most probably somebody who's trying to hack your details. So never click on the link from an email from PayPal. And always go to PayPal and say, I'm receiving these emails. They also then say, if you did go onto those links, if you did click a link in an email, change your passwords, okay? Just play it safe. Yes, very, very important. When people pay you, they have to write gift, okay? I know all of you know this, but it's so, so important, because you are allowed to receive gifts worldwide. But if they put Loom or if they put payment, you know, you are going to face some challenges with taxes, with your bank account not approving it, various things. But with gifting, they can't do anything to you. So very, very important. When you are water women, you have to make it so clear that the women must pay you in gifts. They have to write, it's a gift. And if they don't, you almost have to send that payment back and ask her to resend it to you as a gift, because of not having complications later. Then when you are water women, you can use other platforms as well. You know, you can use your South African bank details, which I would not share in the WhatsApp chat. You know, I would share it with my 2 Earth sisters, and they can privately message it to people. But you can do your FNB account, you can do Bitcoin, you can put your Bitcoin address there, and those who are on Bitcoin, you can do TransferWise. The more options you have, the better. But you still have to have PayPal, because not everybody has TransferWise, or I think there's Western Union, or there's also Venmo, I think. But it is nice for you to actually set yourself up accounts for all of them. TransferWise, Venmo. Alessandra, you want to say something?
I'm waving goodbye to Lisa.
Oh, okay, sorry. It is just really good if you are on all those platforms. You know, it's nice if you have some Bitcoin. It's nice to grow your Bitcoin, and you know, just so that you are actually better equipped. And yeah, sisters, that is all the information that I could gather. I got all my information from the PayPal website, and I also were on the FNB website. I don't know about the global account. Again, you have to set that up. So, and I think, again, you have to have a foreign account to link. So if anybody of you want to ask questions, you are welcome to ask. You can just put up your hand. Okay, and Lurian, you want to unmute?
I have a question. Like, for me, dream weaving is very much about manifesting financial abundance, which means I'm going to get to the point of paying tax soon. So my question in relation to, like, at what point do I need to actually let people pay me as a product or service instead of choosing the gift option? Because that also seems to alert something in PayPal's back-end brain and then treat it as an income for holding space, for facilitation or something like that, and pay tax. So my solution to this whole problem is I've registered a PTY Limited, and it's going to have a business account, and the PayPal is going to go through there, and the business is going to have expenses, and it will pay me a salary from that or whatever. Like, I've just taken it from a straight on accounting perspective. But my question to the group is, so it's like working within the system while it is what it is, and not trying to cut corners, because it feels like the cutting of corners is what's actually causing the problems. You know, whereas if I just go, hey, 3 and I'm probably in the angle of paying tax, well, that's what it is. And that's why I've chosen to set up a business. The business is going to deal with a bunch of stuff, and I will draw a salary from that with PAYE attached, and it's just the way it is. I don't want to try and squirrel my way out of the system, because that also feels not transparent. Because all the other I've looked at
is busy with that. I would really, I would highly suggest you get in touch with BK. It's one of the lineage elders. I'm sure you know her. She's in the Lunar Light, and she is busy with exactly this, because there are court cases in America and as well as in Australia, and the ladies are concerned in losing whatever gifts they received. And they want to be transparent, this is what we do, and we want to pay tax. So if you want to go further in this, I really highly suggest you try to get in touch with BK, and just, she's become very, she only sticks to the Lunar Light. She doesn't really want to bother with the lunar orbit lineage. But I do know if you are in any of the Lunar Light lineages or looms, it just might be really nice. She is calling also quite regularly for people to weave with her. It just might be something that if I was you, I would just reach out to her directly and ask her about this. Say that you would like to know about how to make this legal for you, because she is doing Zoom calls and discussing this.
I think, Sylvia, that's 120,000 somewhere I read in South Africa, but I'm not sure if it's a global amount or from one person. And we could run it as a business and we are paying tax, then we should be safe. Yeah, Nikki, I'm the same. It's like I'm actually going to put this available. I mean, my accountant's fully on board. She's currently dream weaving in an 11 to get the experience of it, and even have the possibility for women who are struggling to be able to use either the model we create, or for people that are in the 11 for the first time and are really like don't have a bank account even in South Africa, that they somehow we can support them. I'm comfortable with the approach I'm taking, because I'm just like, I don't want to cut corners. I want to do it with clarity, and that's what it is for me. That's kind of where I've gone, because all the other ones I've looked at there's so many obstacles. Getting a clearance from the Reserve Bank if you want TransferWise to receive dollars and bring it into South Africa, it's crazy.
Wow.
Can I comment on that? Perhaps if you are dream weaving professionally, then that should be the approach you take, because I think there are women who are like, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be in however many looms you're in, Lorian, and then you're really going to be like in a situation, because it's actually just a lot of money. But for like people like myself, I really enjoy dream weaving, like not for the money, just for the dream weaving part. And for me, like I don't really work, so I don't have like this constant income stream. Me and my relationship with money, don't need to talk about that here, but I don't see the need to continue to dream weaving like as a professional thing so that I can continue to sustain myself. Like for me, it's something that's really nice to do when I want to do it, and then at the end it's an injection of financial abundance that can go towards whatever I'm dreaming up at the time. And my dad's an accountant, and I asked him about this as well. And he said to me, well, as long as I'm using PayPal, you know, it's whatever, you know, it's not a problem. There's not going to be red flags. But if I do start receiving in PayPal like massive quantities of money in this gift, then, you know, it's going to be red flags. So I think that your idea is really valid for people who are dreamweaving professionally. And if you are going to dreamweave professionally, then you should make a business, you know, model out of it and pay taxes and stuff like that. But when you're just doing it in innocence and it's actually, you're just doing it in that original design, which is that stokvel kind of, you know, kind of come in and do it once or twice or maybe every now and then I don't think that you need to really be too concerned about raising red flags.
Lorraine, can I just ask a question? Your idea of creating it as a business and having it taxed and all that, do you mean anything that's above that 120,000 threshold? So that up to 120,000 you'd be declaring as a gift, anything above that as taxable income, or all of it?
I haven't thought of it yet in that detail. It's something I'll run through with my accountant, but it just feels like, I mean, I'm currently spinning into air in a Blossom tonight, and we've got our spark sorted down to when I'll be in earth and or water. And if that amount of money is coming in on a monthly basis, it's going to be 2 blossoms and you're over the limit of 120, you know. And the blossom for me is just a way of creating space so that I can go into the deeper medicine weaves and not feel any kind of like about getting anywhere with it. So this is my Virgo angle of going like, do it first from the get-go, do it properly. My first 333, it was easy because we get into the 11 and pay me back, which is a good option for South Africans. I think Lisa recommended this somewhere. If you've got money lying in your PayPal and it's active and somebody else needs a gift, you can, you know, to get into the loom and they don't have PayPal, but they're South Africans, you can do the gift out of your PayPal and they pay you EFT. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like I've got $500 in my PayPal. I don't need it right now. That sister needs for a 333, and that sister, they're local, so I pay a gift on their behalf, and then they pay me back into my bank account EFT. And I don't give them the proof of payment until I've received the refund in my account, which is also a nice way to do it for people who are entering the medicine weaves for the first time. Shirley, did I answer your question?
That was
Yeah,
my
thanks,
question.
Lorraine. Yeah, that was Clara's question. But sorry, I'd be interested to know why you chose the PTY Limited versus this, like being a sole proprietor, for example. Is that just to protect yourself as an individual? Because I thought that the PTY also needed to have minutes and resolutions and, you know, a whole lot of other company things that can become a bit.
It's going to cost you 1,500 Rand or thereabouts to set it up. And it's just safer. And it's also, when it comes to filing your taxes, SARS is less picky about the fact if you have a PTY with an accountant, you do annual financials, whereas a sole proprietor, there's a lot of legislative risk to your person because it's not a separate entity to you, as I understand it. And look, this is new. I mean, my PTY is only registered like yesterday. So I want to report back of how the experience goes and what I learn, and if it's even a viable option for others to do the process like that.
Yeah, I think I'd like to.
There's other things I want to do. If dreamweaving is not part of my reality anymore, this PTY has been calling my name for a long time, and was like, okay, now let it be born in dreamweaving and see what she wants to do with herself in the world. Of course, it's a she. It's called Ocean Flow.
I was just going to say, it would be great if you know, once you've done all the research and you're comfortable with it and all that, to maybe set up a little session and tell us about it. I mean, I'm not leaning that way at the moment, but it's always good to know what the options are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to just come in here as well, because I had the same idea. I already have a PTY Limited. But but I was quite nervous to do that because it is not a business transaction, and dream weaving is based on gifting. So I was thinking, okay, if I run it through my business and I pay taxes, because I'm very happy to pay taxes on what I receive. I also want to be completely above board. And in some respects, you're safer if you're paying taxes because, you know, you're paying taxes. So I have no problem with paying taxes. But my concern was, if I'm dream weaving and then I am running it as a business, then I need to create invoices. And then I'm like, oh, that feels like fraud. And I don't want to be pinned for fraud. So we actually contacted a lawyer here in PE, just casually, not like a formal consultation. And it was just a phone call. And we described dream weaving. And initially she was like, oh, no, that sounds like a pyramid scheme. And then when we explained the whole process and the gifting, and it's, you know, it's voluntary and it's gifting towards women's dreams and it's uplifting. And then she was like, well, you can do it, or you can do it as a business. She was like, you know, do whatever feels good for you, but I want to get it in writing. And we haven't been able to pin her down to actually put that down in an email. It was just a phone call. But it would be nice to have a lawyer's perspective, because none of us want to land up in trouble. And yeah, so that's just, yeah, I'm also keen to be completely above board and completely transparent. So yeah, I don't want to get into trouble.
I think also ultimately, like, one of the 9 alignments, I think, is integrity. And as long as we all have our integrity about it, then we're not going to attract the, you know, we're working a lot in energetic spaces here, and then we're not going to attract that kind of energy. Because as soon as we start to feel like, ooh, what if fraud, you know, all of that stuff, okay, now we're like attracting that into the space. And you know, the original intention always, as soon as you go into any kind of fear, come back to the original intention. What's this really about? And it's actually about women empowering women. It's basically a bunch of friends. We didn't know each other yet, but now we're friends, you know, who are giving each other money towards, you know, they're just manifesting their dreams. And I really learned that in the 11, because I knew the person at the center. For the first time, I actually knew the person at the center. And I was like, I wasn't going to join the 11, and then I got invited and told it was my friend at the center, and I was like, damn straight, I'm going to join. I would love to give money into that person's PayPal and help him towards his dreams. And then it shifted for me. I was like, this is what this is. It's a gifting circle. It's friends gifting friends. And I can give my friend as much goddamn money as I want to give them. And if I'm going to make this a profession, then okay, then maybe in order to keep my integrity intact, I should pay taxes, or, you know, whatever feels right for you. But at the end of the day, this isn't about like earning money and paying and stuff like that. It's about gifting money, and we're shifting the entire discourse around the economy, and we're creating it new for ourselves. And it's going to be a new trial. We're trying it out. We're experimenting. There might be some hiccups, but just try not to go back to that original economic structure kind of mindset, because we're doing something different, and yet we can take some things from that work for us. Like if you feel that taxes resonate with you because you want to support your country's growth and blah blah blah, then great. But if you're doing it because you're afraid, then maybe just check back in with yourself.
There's a book written by a guy, I can't remember his name. He called himself the Corporate Shaman. Who knows him? And he comes to mind. It's like, where do you shamanically shift things? Sometimes you've got to go in there and then hold the awareness that Alessandra's just spoken about and go, okay, the system is trying to break me, but we're bringing this level of awareness into something, and I might crack it from the inside, and then we'll all be in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yippee-yay! I have no idea where the future goes. But I really, thanks, Alessandra. It's like, for me, it's not about fear. It's just, it's like the highest level of integrity right now, to me, feels like the approach I've taken, and that's personal. And for each one of us, I think we really need to look at where is that integrity and alignment. And this might change for me tomorrow. I don't know, but this is where it is, at least for the last 2 weeks.
And also just in terms of taxes, sorry, just in terms of taxes, like consider your country and what happens to those taxes. Like in Switzerland, if I'm paying taxes, then I'm legit helping the people of this country because their system is really good. But in South Africa, if I'm paying taxes, so maybe take that money that you would have paid into taxes and give it to a charity or support a project or something like that. For me, that resonates as well.
Okay, Lorraine, you're not the only one who feels like this. As I've said, there's a lot of women who are going this way because they are calling it's an embodiment course. And, you know, even for me, before I was dreamweaving, I would do my dance clips, but then I would make these little clips and I will actually sell it. Advertising or whatever. Now I just keep my dancing for dreamweavers. I gift it, as well as I do readings, but now I don't charge for my readings because it's my gift. I give to the women I am in the space with. So, you know, I gift a lot into the space. And I agree with you, by the time you reach water, you know, you deserve because whatever you have gifted into this pool is what you are going to be gifted back. And it is lots of work. So yeah, Noreen, I really would love to, you know, if you just please will keep us all in the loop of how you are doing it. And I will also try to reach out to BK to see if we could, they have Zoom meetings, and I would love to invite you ladies into those Zoom meetings if she will be open to that. And we can just hear how they are doing it, because they are quite set on doing it legal, because as I've mentioned, they have bumped into some court cases. Okay, sisters, is there anything else that anybody wants to share?
I would really like to just share one more thing, which is a little bit, not off topic, but just different view. When the 33 womb, some of you know about the 33 womb thing started, and a charity or a nonprofit got put in the water receiving elder position, I had the idea, and I wanted to share it as well into the space, that if we're weaving a whole lot and we're receiving a whole lot, it's a really nice thing if I can weave on behalf of an NPO. So now I'm going through this whole journey. I'm still doing the embodiments. I'm still in the WhatsApp group, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, every gift I receive is going straight to that specific NPO. And I can also enter into it as the name of that NPO. And when people join, you can tell them you're gifting this or that NPO. And I think it would be really, really cool to start weaving charities into dreamweaving. And I think that is one way to keep the energetic balance and the integrity around, you know, the taxes of it all, as well as a collective. Because the way we're looking at it here in this meeting is what do I do personally to keep myself in check and in balance. But this isn't a personal movement. This is a collective movement, and we all are one entity together, weaving at this, you know, weaving together. So that would be also a way that we could energetically balance this. You know, we don't have to look at this in a practical way always. We can look at it in a practical way, but also energetically, let's bring the energy back, energetic resonance and balance back in, because I think that's also going to help us, you know, to just and stop.
Sorry, I think my side is freezing. Okay, ladies, I also resonate with the NPO because I'm Nomvula, the greening lady. I always wanted to set her up as an NPO, supporting permaculture projects worldwide. Yes. Izzy, I think a lot of us need to go. It is Saturday and it's family day, and we don't want to take up too much time. But I would like to invite you all to do a burn tonight with all the fears that you feel. and, you know, a personal burn at your home with your family. And I will also upload this recording to the SA Dreamweavers group. I don't know if we should share it worldwide in other spaces. Let's just keep it for the SA Dreamweavers group, please. Just for our own, I don't know, integrity.
Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable if it got shared outside of that space. Then you'd have to
Yeah.
edit everything I said out. That was for those who showed up tonight, because it's still a new space and it feels very untried and unsafe to just put it out there. This is us trying to find our way through.
Yes, but
Just-
Lorraine, you do not mind me putting this recording on this SA Dreamweavers group?
Yeah. Are you going to just share the audio, or are you going to just share all the video as well?
I don't know how to do it. I will try to just do the audio. I have just recorded us speaking. I didn't record our dance and
Yeah.
tuning in with each other. Okay, ladies, is there anything else that you feel like you want to share? Okay, I'm going to invite you just to release everything that you have attached to in this moment. And just to come again into your heart space, take a few deep breaths and just ground whatever you feel you have received, and with an in-breath. And on your out-breath, just feel it flowing into the earth. And one deep breath in through your yoni, into your heart. And on your exhale, reach for the sky. And last in-breath from the sky into your heart. And exhale. And I thank you all for being here, for showing up, and for weaving such magic. You are all rock stars, rockster stars. So I wish you a lovely evening, and it was so lovely to see you all. Shirley, I would love to see your face before we go. It's dark already there by you.
I'm in the dark, Nomvula. I don't have light. Sorry, it's dark outside.
It's
Lovely
to see
lovely. One day
familiar
we meet
faces.
again. I did.
Yeah,
It was lovely to see some familiar faces and a new one or two.
yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Thanks for this time, Nomvula, and everyone else.
Mm.
It's from my heart to yours.
Awesome.
Ciao, everybody.
Ciao.